I'm in my dining room with the Marshall stack behind me.
I see that. That's where the Marshall stack.
Every dining room needs one.
You live alone? You don't live alone, right?
No, I live with my wife and my dog.
Right, your wife and your dog. So do they have a problem with the Marshall stack being in the dining room?
Not at all.
No,
it's
good.
You got old,
I'm too old to carry it.
10 behind me here.
What is it?
Oh,
Old school Ampeg 810. And
God.
this will rattle the floor real good. The girls will tell you upstairs.
Yeah. This, I did set up the Capitol Underground sign here because, just because we're here now. So, but my house is like this. There's guitars hanging all over the place and posters and the Beatles and Aerosmith and Clutch and Black Sabbath and Faith No More. Everything's just rock and roll, Ralph and Roll and Cass Hall of Fame kind of thing. So let me introduce my guests. These guys are good friends of mine. So of course we're going to start off bullshitting like we would, hanging outside the QE2 or Saratoga Rose or Valentine's or all the places. We kind of grew up together and became friends. Mike Trash of the band The Erotics, and Duane Beer of the band Blase Debris, and of course a slew of other bands we'll talk about. Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday morning. If you have questions for these dudes, questions for me, or you just want to shoot the shit, there's a chat. We'll do our best to keep up with that chat, and you can do that. First of all, my dog Rosie is laying behind me. Mike's dog Rosie is laying behind him.
Yeah, she's around here. Yeah.
Duane's a cat guy. Now, when I asked you that earlier, what did you say? What kind of cat did you say you had?
It's a ragdoll.
A ragdoll. Is that the kind of cat? Now, why is that? Is it a specific hair growth or?
Ragdoll is. I have a 13-year-old. I've had this cat for maybe 5 years or so.
Right.
A ragdoll is the type of cat where you can just kind of pick up in your hand and it kind of flops around. It is super kid friendly.
Right.
First pet, if you're looking for a first pet, and you got a
kid
who's not so sure about animals.
Yep. All right, so we're here to talk about a lot of things. There's so much to catch up on, and I want to thank you both for coming. First of all, April 30th, that's just a week away, a week and a few hours away. You guys are going to be coming together. The Erotics and Blase Debris and Black Cat Elliott and Brother T's band X-Bread. Is that correct? And that's going to be at the Fuse Box?
Yes, it is. Fuse Box.
All right, so a little background story on De Niro the dog. Everybody, I think it went viral locally when De Niro was found abused and ribs broken. A Rottweiler, De Niro, a young Rottweiler.
I believe it's a Rottweiler mix maybe, yeah.
Right, and was in need for a lot of care. And
his jaw was broken too.
Yeah, it's horrible. What else? I mean, can you give me more details on that? I'm drawing a blank. I know I remember that.
But he needed a lot of surgery, a lot of care, and I believe he's going back in for additional surgeries, but he's doing great, and he's in a good foster home right now, and just benefit coming up is to not just to benefit De Niro, but any other kind of dogs in that situation that come to the Humane Society that need desperate
build a little fund for them. How did this idea come to life? Who started talking about this? Where did this come from? To raise some money for this dog and for this cause, not just for a rescue, but more of emergency surgery that have costs and these places can't cover.
Yeah, I had the show coming up. We had it booked for a while, and then that situation happened, and I thought, and I brought it up to all the bands playing if they were cool with it, and they were. And I reached out to the Humane Society. Her name is Marguerite.
Yep.
And they were all on board with it too as well. And Steve Caparizzo from Channel 10's been
he's so good
as well.
Isn't Steve good? He's so good with it all. Is he helping promote the show? Do we get him to share it?
Yes, he has.
All right, awesome. Good. Thank you, Steve Caparizzo.
He's mentioned it on the news a couple times so far, and his Facebook page as well and stuff. So.
Yeah. It makes me wonder who the person is that did that to De Niro, or what kind of person does that to an animal, a helpless animal. You definitely have the advantage over an animal. It's wrong, and it broke my heart when I saw it because Rosie here sitting behind me, she came from the Humane Society. That's where we found her. He definitely filled a big hole in our heart from when we lost our dog Lars. So yeah, it's a great thing. April 30th. It's a week away. And Duane.
Yes, man. Yes, sir.
So you became involved, obviously, with Mike, and we have some bigger things to talk about. And we'll get to all that with both
I
bands.
can only imagine me and Mike probably go back 35 years, probably, I'm guessing. You know what I mean? It seems like forever.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much. Yeah.
Yep, I feel the same way. I can remember, rolling Nick rolled. No, I rolled Nick out. Did I roll you out in a wheelchair?
No, you rolled Nick out.
I rolled Nick out
in the wheelchair. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's really where it all began. Each other a little bit before that, but the Godfathers of Infection and Saratoga Winters was my starting ground with 88.3 WVCR and with the Z-Rock. And you guys were a big part of it too. Duane, your history, I mean, Mike, you went to the Virus and then the Erotics, and that was it for the path. And you stuck with the Erotics for what, like 25 years now?
26 years now, 1996, yeah.
And Duane, you have a long history of
Duane was actually the first bass player in the Erotics.
Right. And right. Okay. Oh, that's a fact that I forgot about. That's a good one. And Duane, I think for me was, more of a hardcore punk connection with the Troy bands and Plaid connecting and Teddy connecting all you guys together and putting on those shows. And we all started kind of mixing it up. And that's when we all started like going, all right, well, we can put punk with the hardcore bands and we can mix all this up. So would Plaid been the beginning? And I know I've asked you this.
No, people might remember. I think probably around the time Mike was probably in Lethal Lipstick, I was in a metal band. I wasn't really the songwriter, but I was the singer for a band called Liar.
I remember that band, yeah.
At the time, I think it was what was the gal's name from Pix 106? Lisa Walker, maybe, that had a metal show.
Yeah, absolutely.
She did a lot for us, and we played with bands like Death Angel and Rigor Mortis. The list goes on and on. We did real well. It wasn't quite my thing. So they were going to California to audition new singers, and I always had the intentions on coming back, and I had already started working on some material that I thought was more fitting for Plaid than it was for the band Liar at the time. I wasn't really too much of a songwriter in Liar. I just sang. Carl Savries was a killer guitar player, and he did.
Yeah, Carl definitely. So Liar was kind of your first band, and then that's when you said, "All right."
I would say that was legit. You know what I mean?
So Plaid was really your first band that had a vision for writing music.
Plaid and Blase Debris are super similar. They share the same kind of visions where you're trying to cross. Not even. It's just what you love. It's what you grew up on and what you like, and then you try to do it your own way. So if you try to figure somebody mixing the Ramones and the Misfits with Wrathchild America, that's kind of where I was coming from. That's kind of where I'm coming from in Blase. So
yep.
I was at that show when you were in Liar when you opened up for Death Angel. I was at
that was
that was 1988. I still remember it. Yeah.
Was that Saratoga Winters?
Yes, it was. Yeah. I was only 19. They were serving me drinks, so yeah. That's what they did back then.
Yeah, it was a different age. It was we grew up at a different time. Mike, how about your I mean, we just said it. So pretty much the three bands, Godfathers of Infection, the Virus, and then the Erotics for the past.
Lethal Lipstick was before. Lethal Lipstick was
that was before the Godfathers of Infection. So that was pretty much your first band.
Yeah, I was in some high school bands before that too.
What were their names? That's where I'm grabbing. That's what I'm going for now.
Sick Ticket.
Go right to the beginning.
Sick Ticket, another one called Scarlet, which is basically the same name. We just changed names, and that some of those songs, more Lethal Lipstick ended up covering.
So Duane, that's before your time too. You never been to a Sick Ticket show? I've never heard of it.
I'm familiar with the name, but yes, that would probably be before my time.
I don't remember.
I didn't grow up around here. I grew up in Perth, New York. So
right.
Some of the members of the Erotics were had in Sick Ticket too.
Right. Okay. Sick Ticket. All right.
Yeah.
And then Lethal Lipstick. I definitely remember that band. So you both got stuff going on. Duane, we're going to bounce back to you because now we're talking Liar. We're talking Plaid. We're talking No Good Nicks. We're talking Trauma School Dropouts, obviously. August 6th, a Fusebox, correct? Back to the QE2.
The big reunion show.
Yeah. Now
25
that
years in the making.
how did that all come about? Because that was a surprise to the scene that we're very excited for.
Jamie Lovers, bass player for Trauma School. We had at least three different four bass players for Trauma School. We had Steve O'Brien, Jamie Lovers, Lori Friday did a little stint, and Rob Marcello. So 4 bass players. Jamie's been a good friend of mine for a long time. Bowls with me on Wednesday nights in the league, and when Traj took over the QE2 or the fuse box, whatever you want to refer it to.
Right.
Jamie said, I fired up the bass. I'm ready for that reunion.
There you go.
I
Put
totally
the worm in.
because Dave Ranford, the drummer for Trauma School, lives in Boston, so that doesn't even seem feasible. But sure enough, at one of the Blase shows at the Fuse Box, Dave was there, Jamie was there, Rob Marcella was there, and we kind of half jokingly said, "Man, if Tom Howard was here, we could have a Trauma School reunion." I said, "What do you think, Dave?" Him being the one from Boston, he's like, "I'm down," and then I'm like, "Oh,
wow,
game on, I suppose." Then,
so that's going to be the lineup.
Never, so
that'll be the lineup for August 6th. Is what you just described.
Rob Marcello, who played bass in Trauma School, was the first guitar player in Blase Debris. He's a killer guitar player. He's going to be doing Henry McFerrin's lines,
right?
And everybody else is original.
So Jamie Lovers.
I
always call him Lovers. He goes, "Dude, my name's Lovers." I always say Lovers. I always screwed up. Sorry, Jamie. Man, I've had many nights with the QE2 with him. And recently, we've all got stuck with our phones in our hands and our computers and God knows else within our hands and our brains and our mouths. But Jamie is really, I really think he should go for broke and definitely pursue a comedy career. He's one of the funniest guys out there, and the home improvement videos and just putting stuff up on Facebook shows you what kind of creative mind he has. And that a side of him that I really never knew, because we were usually just drunk pushing each other around with the QE2. So yeah, and it's cool because you definitely have a cast of characters, and obviously Henry's not around, RIP. And Rob just texted me last night because I guess we got to send a shout out to our Pretty Rick, a pretty big loss in the scene. And I didn't know the kid, but I just saw the love that was outpouring. And then of course Dave LaHaye Lippy, who we just lost. And Rob was texting me, letting me know that the services were last night and I couldn't make it. But so yeah, RIP to all of them. And you got a good lineup. That's a great cast of characters for Trauma School. That's pretty much as good as you're going to get.
It will not disappoint. I can tell you that. I have to get myself kind of. Blase Debris is my thing, and it's where I'm at in my head now. But if I'm not that far out of touch with who I used to be to not be able to get myself back into the 25-year-old Duane Beer frame and go it down, the way it should be done. So I'm looking forward to it. In fact, today, later on today, will be the very first Trauma School dropouts rehearsal in probably 25 years.
Well, we're definitely going to have you back, and we got to have a few of the cast of the characters. Blase Debris to be on the show, and just tell Lovers I'll say his name right, please.
I got 2 things.
Yep. My name's Lovers, not Lubers.
If you want, Jamie has a real good Luber kind of joke about Jelly and Jim. If you want to ask it to him, but before I forget, I also want to mention that there's a lost third album from Trauma School that features Henry McFerrin on guitar, and it's killer. And it's going to be released. It's going to be released on August 6th by Cacophone Records at the show.
Oh wow!
So it's a full-length album. It's going to be titled "Past Due," and it is as ambitious and what was the word I'm looking for? Unabashed. It is out there. It would have been hard to follow that one up at the time.
How come? Now, Kip and Jeff, right? Cacophone. Is that what we're talking about? Great guys, dudes in the scene that have been there forever. More friends that I made through the Albany scene. Why was the record never released?
You want me
just
to
the end of the band?
To that?
I don't
recall. It was definitely the first 2 albums came out on Cacophone. This one was scheduled to come out on Cacophone. I think we realized that right around that point in time, or at least I realized this. When you hear this one, you're going to hear there's just something about it. I don't know where we could have went at the time from there. And once I'm only speaking about me personally, once I kind of wear something out, I can't do much more with it.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know,
That kind of happened to me. No disrespect to my
I get that totally.
yeah, no disrespect to my brothers in like Last Call or Black on Wayne or even Politics of Contraband, but you eventually want to do stuff musically and keep growing and doing things, and it felt like I couldn't do anymore. That's kind of where I felt. If anyone's like wondering why I don't play in hardcore bands anymore, they seem weird for me to see me playing guitar and singing or see me doing an acoustic duo. You know, yeah, you can't wear it out. You can't force it. So August 6th, the cast of characters, Trauma School Dropouts, going to be
no doubt about it. Oh, hey, speaking of reunion shows, who's opening that night is the legendary Plastic Jesus.
That's
probably
another
performed a show in over a decade.
That seems like Mike Trash and Duane Beer are known for that, bringing those bands back or putting cool bands together on their shows. So right now it's just Plastic Jesus and Blase Debris, and
Society High is going to open.
There it is. That's the one. Go for
Ollie,
it.
my good friend.
Leave the gun, take the fucking cannoli. Speaking of cannolis, the Erotics has bottles of hot sauce. Mike, I'm very excited for you to tell us about the hot sauce because I make a
hold on. I'll grab one.
Yeah, get one. You're gonna chug it? Chug the fucking thing, dude. The ratings will go through the roof. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're waiting for Mike Trash to come back. We're going to try to get him to chug a bottle of Erotics hot sauce. If you got any questions, put them in the chat. I'm just checking it out right now. We'll start to pull them up. Right now. So, Mike, were you going to chug that bottle of hot sauce? No, you wouldn't do that. I don't want you to get sick. So the Erotics hot sauce.
You got hot sauce, yeah.
This is the fourth run with these things. People like them.
Fourth run, yeah.
And do you kind of contribute to the recipe? Are you a massive culinary artist of sorts? Do you cook a lot at home, and do you like hot sauce?
Well, I like hot sauce. Me and my wife take turns cooking. We both cook very well, and I like stuff very, very spicy. And it's not really hot, this stuff, but it has good taste to it. Like it's like a medium tang to it.
Yeah.
You know?
So it just one day you decided, hey, we need we make t-shirts. We've done this. What type of products? Remind us. There's been some other erotic. You guys done panties? You guys have done some pretty sick stuff.
We have shot glasses. Mm-hmm. We have dog tags. The hot sauce, obviously. We have soda.
You have the erotic soda. What kind of soda? Like?
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me grab one of those.
Go grab one of those. Duane, have you ever jumped on this like during the pandemic? Did you go, okay, we're just going to make a shitload of merch? And any type of unique merch you got coming up for Trauma School or Blase?
I will tell you, if you ever hear me say the words, me and my wife cook really well. I can assure you when I'm not talking about hot sauce.
No.
New merch and everything. We have some pretty awesome ladies tank tops that I don't have here one to show you, but we did a limited run of them, and that's why we don't have them for sale online. We just bring them to shows only. It's kind of a Bewitched kind of knockoff with our Bride of Frankenstein girl riding that broom.
Nice.
It looks real cool. They're full color, and it's something I've wanted to do for quite some time, and the pandemic gave us time to think about all these things and actually get something like that done, along with writing a ton of new tunes.
This will be the first. This will be the first new release since you put out Gauze a few years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we tracked 18 of them. It looks like 16 of them are going to make it. And I don't mind tossing a few if the tempo just doesn't feel right. It doesn't make sense to me to, save the tunes, try them again next time. So I think 16 tunes will make a killer album, and we're looking to release it on vinyl, and should be awesome. I don't have any kind of date on that because even though the basic tracking is done, we haven't come close to, maybe we're halfway through.
All right. And where are you recording the new record?
We recorded it right here in the basement.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Rosie.
The technology.
Here's Rosie.
There's Rosie. Hello. Okay, Mike, you can bring back. Thank you, though. That was cool. I'm glad you guys are doing it on your own. Self-produced. That's awesome, Duane. Congrats. Mike, show us that soda bottle, the Erotic soda bottle.
It's an empty one, but we got full ones in the basement. It's like a ginger beer
What's
flavor.
it called? Any Jones?
My Jones is the company.
Okay.
I also had China White soda I had for the Henry benefit a few years back. I still have some.
Excellent. There it is.
Yeah.
April 30th. It's only a week away, folks. The Fuse Box in Albany. Of course, our friend Chadgy, another person, another I guess character like all of us in the scene in the 90s. Traj definitely, you know, scooping up and starting an empire and said to me on the phone the other day, and I invited him onto the show. I got to actually see. He's probably on his way to New York City, but he said, I just didn't want anybody to come, and they wanted to scoop the fucking thing up and just take it and like move it, like pick up the QE2 and just move it and bring it somewhere else, and there would just be like parking spots there. And he said, for that fact alone, I knew that I wasn't going to, you know, make a killing, and it wasn't going to be huge, but it's definitely doing a lot better than I thought. And as long as I can preserve that, because it's where I grew up. So I sat there, there's memories, man. So I thought that was really cool, because most business owners go into it without having a piece of their heart connected to it. And I think that's what we all have with the Fuse Box, and that's what he has too. Agreed?
Agreed.
All right, cheers. Let's have a drink. What are you drinking this morning?
I'm drinking
sponsored by Modelo.
I'm drinking ginger beer.
Orange juice out of my rosy mug.
I do like that. I like that ginger beer. What are you drinking there, Mike?
It's called Mule Kicker.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's alcohol.
It's made by Saranac.
Nice.
It's really good stuff.
Where did you drink last night, Mike?
At Thatcher Street.
Thatcher Street Pub. So you just played a show there for our friend Wendy, another person who's connected to the QE2 and our history and all of us kind of growing up as kids. How was that? That's a fun place, and I'm looking forward to going down there too.
Yeah, my wife cooks there, and I usually go in once in a while. I stop in while she's working and tie one on, and she takes me home.
Right.
And babysits me.
Right. So I guess we'll bounce back to the Erotics. Any new material you'll be performing, Mike, with the Erotics? I was looking at your website today. In fact, let me just go back here now and just want to make sure this is most importantly. Let's start here. So if you'd like to adopt a pet, I'd like you to check out this website right here. And this is where these guys are going to be playing their music for April 30th at the Fuse Box. This is where the money's going. It's going to injured dogs and dogs that need money for surgery, and mohawkhumane.org. And you can adopt a pet like I did. My dog Rosie, I adopted down there, and it'll be, I think we're going on 3 years this year. Yeah, we're going on 3 years this year. She's been with us. So that's the main thing. Mike, I was looking at your website this morning, and it shows a lot of CDs. So when the pandemic hit, you guys went in. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was the live CD with Don Fury?
That came out 2 years ago, and then we put out another EP last year called "Ride It to Death." Then we put out a Christmas single in December.
What made you decide to do that?
The Christmas song?
Yeah.
I actually wrote it just like randomly, like I was just playing a guitar, and sometimes songs just come out like that, unexpected. And that one's like, oh, we got to go in and do this and have it out for Christmas, you know. And,
right.
And we did cover of the song "Spiders and Snakes" as the B-side, and that got a good reaction. It's a really obscure song that no one really would expect us to do, you know. Right.
So you can go to eroticrockandroll.com and get merch now. Blase Debris also, I pulled this up. We got their Facebook. We got the Erotics Facebook. Them guys alike. Blase Debris has a website as well. Simple, blasedebris.com. No merch up there right now, but I'm sure you'll be able to pick up the new CD real soon. Any new titles for this new Blase Debris that you guys are working on?
We've tossed around a few ideas. We'll wait and
let's name it right now, Mike.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Mike, with the animal thing in mind,
right.
I'm sure we've all gotten pets, and you've had a pet and you call it something, and then 6 months later you wind up calling it something else, and then a year later you settle on a name. So let's
can we pretend for just a moment, Duane, and have a little fun? Mike, pick a word.
Pick a word.
Pick any word.
Let's call it
No,
Happy
one word.
Nuts. Happy Nuts.
One word. One word.
Happy Nuts.
He's going to
That's
put a
2 words.
hyphen in there.
2 words.
Let's call it Nuts.
He's
Nuts. Chins. And you pick a word now, Duane.
I'm not going there, folks.
Call it Ampeg.
You heard it here first on Capital Underground TV. Duane Beer has shot down Mike Trash and I's idea.
Yeah,
Name.
nuts, chin, and something. It's not.
Nuts,
it's not that
chin,
kind
and
of
broken
album,
legs.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
I think we were passing around batshit crazy. Works for Blase.
That's good.
Yeah. So
That's cool. I like
that's the one
that.
that's in the lead right now.
Well, there you go. That's
You know,
cool.
I tried to
That's all
stay away
I
from-
wanted
I tried
an
to stay
answer.
away
I forced an answer out of you.
There you go. You know, I try to stay away from. Sometimes I want to name the album like the title of one of the songs, but then everybody who buys the album thinks that's the song that you're pushing, and a lot of times it's just a cool phrase or something. So I've tried to stay away from naming the album like one of the songs, like you see a lot of other groups do.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I've always been a stickler for that. And it's like I've always tried to come up with creative titles, and I never write the title of the song into the lyrics. That was another rule of mine. I never did that. Only a couple times it was in there.
It's
But
always an exception.
yeah, there's always an exception, but and I never wrote a title track either. And I'm currently doing that right now. And I just crossed it off the list for the one of the titles for the songs.
We do both.
Yeah.
It all
So
depends.
Right, but you also take a spin on things like your tune I Dismember You. You want to talk about that track?
Oh yeah, it's just obviously a parody title of I Remember You by Skid Row, but it's just a kind of a Ramones meets the 50s-ish style music to it, but it's called I Dismember You. It's a little horror rock love song, about putting a chick in the trunk of the car and dismembering her in the woods and all that shit. And fun stuff.
Erotics going death metal on us here.
Yeah.
I will say, let me jump in for a second.
Go ahead.
The Erotics version of that Spiders and Snakes is excellent. That 70s style songwriting fits them so well that it's not them going out of their element to kind of do something, but at the same time, it sounds nothing like the original, which is far more acoustic and laid back. It's just it's a good version.
Thanks.
Yep.
I always loved that song when I was like 5 years old, and for some reason I brought it up to Johnny and the rest of the band.
We referring to an Alice Cooper song?
I do a lot of Alice Cooper stuff.
No, what was the Spiders and Snakes tune?
Oh, that's by no, I can't think of his name. God damn it. No.
Oh, so it's an obscure
country
tune?
Yeah. Why am I drawing a blank now?
I don't know.
Because he
Because
actually
you made it your own. You don't give a fuck who wrote it. It's yours now.
Jim Stafford.
There you go.
Fuck that guy.
I actually sent him that version and he loved it. I should remember his name for that reason alone.
Yep. Also want to mention that you can hear the Erotics, you can hear Blase Debris, and you can I've actually pulled some no good nicks out. And I'd like you guys to send me some of your old music. Nippertown Radio is all local music all the time. And Nippertown Radio is definitely behind April 30th for this benefit for De Niro. And that's mainly why we're here today with my guests, my friends, Mike Trash from the Erotics and Duane Beer of the band Blase Debris. They're both in their home. Mike with a Marshall stack in his kitchen. Duane with a few stacks in his jam room home studio. So did we miss anything? Hang on. I'm going to go back to the chat now because this is a part here where okay, we got
nominated for an award. That's tomorrow.
What's that?
We got nominated for an award. That's tomorrow.
Oh yeah, the biggest thing of the year, the local music awards, the Eddies, and the Erotics. You want to tell us about the award you're nominated for there?
We got nominated for hard rock / metal artist of 2022, and the ceremony's at Proctor's tomorrow. We're gonna attend it and hang out and do the red carpet pictures and all that funny stuff.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, cool. Are you gonna? We were talking about like dressing up as stormtroopers, the entire staff in Nippertown, and going there and just freaking everybody out. But we said it live. Yeah. It wouldn't be funny because Because we said it on the air, we said it live, and
Uh,
there was 300, 400 people that watched it. They're going to expect it, so now we'll show up like Yoda or something. Who knows?
everybody should dress like Chewbacca instead.
The Eddie Awards. So that's exciting, man. I mean, this is something that's going on at Proctor's Theater. This is the Thomas Edison Awards. It's become for the past 3 years or so now. It's become the local Grammys, so to speak. And I always looked at it as like
it's a bigger deal than I thought it was. I didn't realize.
Yeah, and it's an honor to be part of it. But I think you two will agree with me. Especially with the punk rock attitudes we have, that I didn't get into this to win a bowling trophy. And
yeah, it was. I was out of the loop, to be honest.
Yeah, but to be nominated for an Eddie is a different story, and it's starting to be a really big and respected award show. So I look forward to it. I'm going to, so I'll see you there. I finally got the okay that I had my day clear to go, and I'll be there. And we're going to try to get a little pregame and go. And who's bringing the cooler?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cooler in the parking lot.
Yeah, for sure.
I drink iced tea. So, what else could we talk about? We're gonna go back to.
We are doing a new record again.
So yeah, that's where I want to be with the Erotics for a minute. Duane, we'll be right back with you. I got some other questions about Trauma School and Blase Debris and his possible plaid reunion I heard about. You could deny. Hey, hold on a second. Let's bring Duane back. Yeah, I did. I heard a rumor about that on Facebook, or maybe it was a comment. So no, I'm not here to start rumors, but Trauma School are definitely playing.
There was a plaid reunion rumor banging around. It was going to take place last year, and
right.
Michael O'Keefe. We were only going to do it with Michael O'Keefe, the original guitar player.
Right.
And he had an issue with his arm going on.
So there was something on Facebook, some truth I did.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think it would have been 30-year reunion. And I'm still friends. I'm good friends with Bill Ketzer and Dave Heaton. And we all agreed that we would give it a whirl if Mike was on board.
Right.
Unfortunately.
So we will never count that out either, right? Maybe someday.
No, because I think he's back to playing again, but now we're on to other things. So
right. That's all right. Well, that's next.
We're looking back around to it maybe in 4 years and do 35 years or something.
There you go.
To think about, but
yeah. Well, hey, you notice bands are doing like, Mike even said it. We've been around 26 years, or bands will do the 11th year anniversary tour. But back to the Erotics, Mike. Yeah, definitely. Tell us about some of the new songs. The writing. Where are you going to the studio? You back with Don Fury? You going somewhere different?
Back with Don Fury as always. We have a great relationship with him. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we're going in August, and we're planning to get it out in October. It's probably just going to be 6 or 7 songs EP, and some of them are like a little bit different from what we used to do. One has like a West Side Story kind of vibe to it, where there's like a saxophone and finger snappings in the breaks and everything, like a little weird shit.
Like soul claps? Are you talking about soul claps?
No, finger snaps like that during the
finger snaps. So that's like a doo-wop thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're going. The Erotics are going punk doo-wop. That's a new genre.
And another song is completely in Spanish, and it has flamenco guitar in it as well, and it's like metal flamenco. And the song is called Dia de los Muertos, which is Day of the Dead. And
so you're going to sing in Spanish?
Yes.
That's
I've been doing it acoustic the past couple shows too, and it's been going over really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'd love to hear you sing Spanish. I don't know about that. Duane, have you ever heard him sing in Spanish? That sounds interesting. And I'm not laughing. I'm thinking because it's
I've heard him where I have heard Michael where I can make out almost every word, and I've heard Michael where I can't make out any of the words. He may have been singing in Spanish on a few.
He's heard me scream in German a lot.
I've heard that. We've been around for a long time.
So, Mike, this is just going to be an erotic EP. Do we have a title for that? Maybe we should try a title tonight. Duane, go. First word out of your mouth, Duane.
Blue.
Red.
Death.
Blue, red, death. Red and blue death. Mike, you got any titles for the new record? We're not going to ruin your record.
That's better than the bald chin one you guys are hitting me.
Yeah. The title will be announced.
Okay, that's cool. Hold it in.
Yeah.
What about the tune? So you are doing some different stuff. So the Spanish thing going on.
It's really blue. It's really bluesy. We're more bluesy than what we usually do.
Well, that's all right. You got to move into. I mean, it's only rock and roll, right? Is
It's
that what
still
we all
it still
think?
has our sound to it, but it's like a lot
Right.
more bluesier.
What you can do with we got the erotic sound, and what places can you go next? I always admire that about Blase Debris, though, too. Bringing in the horns and kind of having that not so much ska feel, but bringing in that bluesy, the
Yeah.
horns and stuff. So, tell us more about what things will be different with Blase Debris this time around with the new record.
Well, I tell you, we added Justin Burke on saxophone a while back. I think Justin might even be playing with the Erotics next recording, if I'm not wrong. That changed things immensely. This album, the Gauze album, the tracks were already completed, and then we added the saxophone. That's different than this time around when the sax is a part of the songwriting. So that's fun to give him more room. We don't do any of the ska stuff. That would be, I just feel like that's a little too typical, and it's not our lane. We'll stay out of that lane. I think it's more fun to have the sax and take a more rock and roll metal approach.
Yeah.
And we have Tim Wozniak on drums now. Tim used to play with me in the Miserables a long time ago. And Joe Dufresne on guitar, who played in an Alice Cooper tribute band that I had seen in the past. Whenever you get new people in the band, I've always tried to work upon their strengths, and it's going to change my approach to songwriting. So every time a lineup changes a little bit, it's not surprising when the sound changes a little. I know Mike has, Tony and Doug are not new additions, but they're, newer additions. And it's nice to hear, sound changes of bands when they add different players.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I was just saying again is people are like, oh, you should put out a new compilation CD. And I had different idea, and I'm going to bring it out on this show. And it's coming to mind now because you just mentioned that Justin's going to be playing some sax on the Erotics, the new Erotics.
Well, I don't know. Mike's going to have to say confirm that.
That's okay. There was rumor.
I thought I heard Justin mention it.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I wasn't trying to start another rumor. I was trying to create something. Is that true?
He's going to come in. He's going to lay down tracks on that one song that I mentioned.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And some of this could be done from our own homes too, but it'd be really cool to collaborate myself with you guys, and let's see who we could start. We'll start with us three, and then we'll go who could come in next, and what kind of recorded band can we create? And it can be 50 members on, a couple tracks. We can record, Duane can record something in his basement, send it over here. I record it here, whatever, where we all get together. But that'd be cool. I'm going back to the person who was pushing the Capitol Underground, the albums to me, and going, we got to do another comp. It's a lot of work. I want to try something different again with music, with what I do. You want to, okay, we've been on the boat, we've been at the fairs, we've done Reverbicon. Where do we go next? How do we reinvent it? And that's where I think I want to go with it next, is seeing what kind of musical collaboration we can put together with R&B, folk, funk artists, with the punk, hardcore, metal, hip hop guys all together on one project, different tunes. So that's kind of where I'm going. So I'm starting some shit right now, is what I'm saying. You in? You guys in?
Good luck with that.
I know you'll be in if we really do it. That's my idea, though. That's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. We were talking other shows. April 30th, obviously, is the main show we're here to promote. It's the Rockford De Niro. And thanks to our friends at the Fuse Box and Asylum and Upstate Black and Blue Productions, X-Spread, Black Cat Elliott, Blase Debris, and the Erotics. It's cool. I don't have a gig next week. I've got a gig on Friday, and I'm planning to come, and I set it there, and I'm going to have to show up now. So that's going to be fun. So we're going to be hanging at the QE2 again. You guys miss Dean?
Oh yeah, definitely is. Not the same seeing him around downtown by the Capitol or Lark Street or whatever. No,
the Q had some of the most colorful characters of all time. I mean, it was, nowadays I feel like people will only go to clubs if and when a show is happening, and if and when it's something that they're expected, they're familiar with the band, they're expected to see it. I mean, the Q was a hangout.
Yeah,
You could go
yeah.
there at 5:30 during the week and hang with some of the most cool characters and exchange stories that would be mind blowing. And people will go there regardless of who is playing. And that's how you could stumble upon bands later on that evening, never having heard them and just being blown away. Bands like Babes in Toyland, I remember seeing, and I had never heard of them, and I was just like, "Oh my God, this is why you come here. This is why you come here on a weeknight, and this is why you hang out, because you never know what's going to happen."
I walked in there one night and Marilyn Manson was fucking playing. I'm like, "What the hell is going on here?" I go, "This is like a revolution worldwide going to happen right here."
Yeah, I just remember day drinking a lot of QE2, and not realizing there's a show later on, and you're still there the whole time. And they're like, "Wow, this band's really good." Right? You're not even there to see the band. You're just day drinking and happen to see the band.
Yeah. No, there was definitely a whole culture and a cast of characters, and that's another thing I was talking about with some people. I don't think this is my place though. Maybe I can kind of push it to you guys, or push it more off on Traj or Wendy and people who. And Charlene and people who were involved with the QE2, but someone said there should be some type of documentary done about the QE2 and the history and a book. And they wanted to make a book. So I'm throwing this on you guys. This is more your job. I think if the Troy Court documentary would need to be made, I'd have to be a part of that. But I definitely would like to be able to advise people on what to do. What are your thoughts on that? There's a need for a QE2 documentary with all the people that were connected with that place, don't you think?
I agree.
It would be awesome. It wouldn't even be that difficult to do. I mean, you would, contact Char, contact Wendy, contact Val, contact Stella, contact Jimmy Romano. I mean,
there you go.
The bartenders
right?
Heard and seen it all. You could get some amazing stories, and then you just have to convince people to sign off on some of them.
Yeah, but bands themselves out of their own mouths, I've heard it. Geezer Butler, Black Sabbath, Marky Ramone, obvious. Let me get another one that said it. I'm drawing a blank, but there was a million of them. They said, any band that ever come up through the hardcore scene and the punk scene that ever came through and played at the QE2 in that 90s, 80s, 90s era said that, this is the CBGBs of Albany. This place is cool. You guys have and at one point, New York City punk and hardcore wasn't doing that well. And those bands couldn't wait. They played here more than they played there because they said our shows were better and our scene was better and it was well attended. And the QE2 was a memorable place. So I think that if you got Geezer Butler and Marky Ramone going, wow, this place is amazing. Geezer Butler's played all over the world, everywhere.
I remember that show. Yeah.
Yeah,
you played with Sick of It All, right? So or something.
No. I'm gonna say he played with Life of Agony. That's what it was. It was Life of Agony, Mike, because I remember it was Geezer,
Life of Agony. Yes.
Agony,
yeah,
and some other band. Yeah, some other band. But yeah, there's been definitely a lot of memories. You're bringing all that back full circle now. As far as the Erotics goes, you got this April 30th coming up. We're going to go to the Eddies on Sunday. You're going to be there, hopefully accepting that award. And what's coming up next after? Yeah, you got to get do you have your speech made up?
Oh yeah.
All right, Duane and I are going to help you write a couple lines. Can we do that?
Okay, cool. All right.
Go ahead, Duane. You're first.
Are you serious? I think I need another drink before we start doing this.
What do you got coming up next?
I'll start off with I'm like trash.
There we go. I'd like to thank God, and there you could go from there. So, Mike, what's coming up after the Eddies, and then of course April 30th for the Erotics?
After April 30th, we have a show in Saratoga on May 21st at the Putnam Place.
This is interesting. This is interesting. I just heard about this. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be the Erotics, Joe Manzin, and Dimitri Wild in the Spells. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
That is an amazing show. Now, if you haven't seen Dimitri Wild in the Spells, our own Tommy loves playing drums with them.
I heard.
Yeah, and of course, the Erotics, and then Joe Mansman of the Midnight Revival Band. There again is another. It's not a chance or a risk. It's just a good, well-rounded show with 3 different bands that are all unique in their own way, but kind of are a lot different than each other. So I think that's going to be sick. May 21st, Putnam Place. What else you got coming up there you want to share with us?
On June 4th, I believe, is Saturday. We're playing at Thatcher Street Pub. The Erotics, the full band is playing.
Is that going to be like an outdoor thing, or are you guys actually playing inside?
Playing inside. We played there a couple of years ago, and it actually went over really great. It was during Oktoberfest, but this is just a random thing, and we're going to do 2 sets. There's no other bands, just us. We're going to do an hour set each and pull out some old deep cuts that we haven't played in a while during the second set. And we have Paul from China White's going to sing some China White songs in the second set and stuff. So
that's great, man. That's great. That's some good stuff right there. How about you, Duane? What's coming up for Blase Debris after April 30th?
We gotta concentrate on this album. The one thing when you're doing it yourself, it's awesome that you're doing it yourself. But when you're doing it yourself, you're also doing it on your own time, and it's just finding the time to get to do these things.
But it also gives you the freedom. Hello there. Hello there, Mrs. Trash just came into the picture. Hello there. All right. She's got her erotic shirt on. She's like, Mike, get the fuck off the screen and come this way with me. That's the look she just gave you. So I think we are going to wrap things up, fellas, though. That was pretty good. April 30th. And I want to thank you both for hanging out for the past 47 or 48 minutes or so with us.
Fun.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll see everybody Saturday, April 30th at the Fuse Box for the Rock for De Niro benefit and friends with Blase Debris, the Erotics, Blackhead Elliott, and X-Bread. It's an benefit for for the Hudson Mohawk Humane Society, and that's for the battered dogs and the doggies and the puppers and the cats that need our help. And punk rock and rock and roll is coming through for everybody. So join us for April 30th. And we'll see you guys later for Capital Underground TV. We will see you next time. And we are going to go like this: a 1, a 2, and a 3. Bye-bye.
Thank you, folks.